Hello everybody, my name is Connor. Some people call me NobleAsta, but not really. So I'm here with another Katakuri game, and I am playing against the new blue-yellow Ace. I really love Ace. I love Ace so much. And the alt art leader is so nice. That's actually my alt art that my friend is playing with my friend, who you guys may recognize the playmat and the just sick hand tats. That is my friend over at Dawn10. All of his links will be down below. He is a very talented One Piece player and has been on the content grind lately. And he's actually the main reason why I started to upload my own videos, is because I figure, like, I saw, that he was uploading and, people were commenting on his games, and I said, maybe I do that, and people comment on my games and tell me how to improve. So here we are. So turn 2, I Onami banished with Katakuri and swing 7. I checked. That's a Parasparrow, I'm pretty sure. I'm not very good at showing the camera what my life is. And I banish. I think that's Ace, maybe? I can't tell. I'm not super familiar with the siblings of its deck yet. I've barely even opened mine. So he goes ahead and Ace abilities. Yeah, I will be playing. So this week, by the time this video goes up, the Eggman tournament will be over. But I will be playing in the Eggman tournament on Sunday. And I will be playing Katakuri. Not this exact list. I have tweaked my list since this video, and the list feels fire, dudes. So, but after that, I will be playing some of the red, yellow Sabo. Really like that deck. Really cheeky deck. And as far as all the sibling decks go, I do not understand them. But the Sabo one, I understand the most. And I did play against the black, yellow Luffy, and I kind of get that. So he draws a card, trashes a card from life, and he swings into me, and I go ahead and I take it, and it is the Parasparrow. I was right. And I go ahead and I trash Kikunojo, which makes sense to me. I see you've got the Gadatsu. Gadatsu, I don't feel like is that. I like Gadatsu, like, as a card, but I do end up dropping him from my list just because one of my friends pointed out that a lot of leaders start with 4 life, and not a lot of threats under 4. So I tap 4 and I play Sanji, and then I swing 5, 6, 7 with Katakuri effect, and I got a pudding in my life, and I leave that there. It's a nice counter. I don't really need it at this point. Realistically, I don't think that's a terrible play, because he is able to buff up his Ace so much. Because I think he only gets it up by 2 this game, but I know that Ace can buff up to like +4 at least. So I'm not mad about the blocker play. I think a better play might have been Kikunojo. Maybe not better, but more aggressive play would have been Kikunojo, because he has to get rid of that. But I'm not mad about the blocker. I think blocker was a decent choice. I don't know if it was the choice. I don't know if Kikunojo would have been better, and then I get to swing with the Katakuri with the plus ability, and that is something I've learned is important. So I go ahead, he swings 6, and I just go ahead and take it, get the Charlotte pudding out of my life. And let's see, I'm at 5, 6, 7. So I don't have 7 draw cost Mom, which is a bummer. He ends up playing Newgate this turn, and Newgate you get to put a life or a card on your life, and then put your life to get back how you want, and then take a life, if I'm not mistaken. He actually ended up taking Newgate out of his list, which I will make sure that there are plenty of links to his channel below so you can see his list. And he ends up. Oh, you put it at the top of your deck. Excuse me. So he took the Newgate out, and I actually put Newgate in my list. Like, I think that card's fire. So it's really good in Katakuri, I think. But so we are on our 7 Dawn turn. We currently don't have 7 Mom in our hand. You can see I'm counting Dawn there. That's my sneaky way of counting. And we get Satori, which I'm not super mad about, but could have been better. Could have been better. So I think my play here is to spread out some Dawn, get some swings in, and maybe play Hiyori. I'll have to see what I thought was my play at the time. But yeah, so I'm sitting pretty comfortably. Like in this game, I have 3 life, I think is what my life says. Maybe 4, I can't tell. The overlay will tell it's 3. It looks like 3. Yeah, so I think I'm spreading out some Dawn. I go ahead, I tap 4, play out the Kikanojo. And then I think I'm trying to decide, because I want to swing a little bigger, so I go ahead and swing 6, and I think I swing at Ace, which maybe I should have swung at, yeah, so I swing at Ace, maybe I should have swung at Luffy, and then I swing Luffy here, because I'm pretty sure Luffy is a 5/6, and so yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think maybe I should have swung at Luffy with Parasparrow, and then tried to get Luffy off board. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Maybe I'm overthinking my plays. But that's what I went with. It wasn't terrible. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But I'm sitting on a blocker and a 2K counter hand, and that's about it. And my opponent is in the Think Tank, which honestly I don't blame him. That deck seems very complex. A lot of bouncing from life, and that's kind of how all the decks play. I think Ace, to me at least, is the most complicated. And I get the idea. Like I think Sabo's the easiest, then Luffy, then Ace. But that's from my experience, which, you know, I'm not the greatest One Piece player. So they end up playing the new Curly Dawn, which I like, actually. I think for this deck, it's very, you know, it's specific to this deck. It's not a good blocker in any other deck, but they end up playing the Luffy, the baby Luffy, and the baby Ace, and they go ahead and leader ability, get their search off. And I think at this moment I didn't realize that Curly was a blocker, because I saw the on play ability, you know. So they end up trashing their baby Ace from the big boy Ace, and with Rush, which is very scary, honestly. But they have no life now, so that is good. They buff up Luffy with the Luffy ability, if I'm not mistaken. And they go ahead and they swing 7 at Parasparrow, and I let him go. My thought with Parasparrow is if he gets a hidden, that's great, but he's there to search. And we get a couple of options. We get 7 Mom and the 2K counter, and at this point, I'm seeing that he's got a lot of big bodies on board, and I put the Amande out. So he goes ahead and negates. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It is late. So he negates it. I counter out, which I don't know if I 100% agree with looking back at it. I get a Satori out of life. I take another hit, and I get the Onami, and here's another thing. I end up getting rid of Ace, which I can see because he is, I think, the most prominent threat. He is the most prominent threat, but I could have gone for game here if I got rid of Curly. And I didn't realize that she was a blocker, I think, until this part of my turn. We played this tournament the day the decks came out. And I had not done a lot of research into them because they confused me, and when things confuse me, I learn better. I learned better when, like, playing in person. Like, I can play on a sim all day and not understand, but when I play it in person, like, it clicks. I don't know what it is. So that's that. So I'm not mad about this play. I Katakuri my Onami into my life. Yeah, so I put the 1 on Kikinojo, went 7 to see what I could get. Couldn't get anything, really. And so I play Katakuri and Onami into life. I think I should have put the 1 on... Yeah, if I put the 1 on Katakuri, I can't remember if I knew what my top life was already. I've watched a lot of games today, a lot of Katakuri games today, so I can't remember if I knew what was on my top life. I don't think I did, so I think it would have been a better play to put the 1 on Katakuri and check. But he goes ahead, puts 2 on ace to ace ability. And he puts a Luffy in life. So after this game, one of the things that we were talking about was he was having a little bit of trouble getting his deck to do what it needed to do. He runs 8 searchers between the GARP and the event, and he found 1 the entire game, which is impressive, honestly. Like, when you think about it, 8 out of 50 sounds pretty low, but in a card game, like, I run 1 Katakuri, I think 1 or 2 Katakuris in this list, and I currently run 1. So yeah, so he swings into me, and I go ahead and I own Nami, and I'm trying to decide what I want to get rid of. Because I know the brothers are 5, but so is Curly, and I go with Curly so that I could, end game next turn, assuming I live. And I've got a blocker, I've got 1 life. That Luffy, I think, has, it can't attack. I don't know what they call it in One Piece, but just summoning sickness. But yeah, so I end up countering out of the Newgate attack. And I think I just take his ace hit. Oh, so he goes into Kikinojo with the ace, which I'm like, okay. And Kikinojo is one of the cards that I'm still like, I got terrible memory, which makes it hard to be good at this game. But I looked at her to see if I get a life. And he goes ahead and he plays a rush ace with 2 Dawn. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I get a reject, so I'm looking at it, and I go ahead and draw a card, and I get the Onami, which her effect is more useful at this moment than her. So I'm like looking at his stuff, and I go, is there any reason why I don't just 18k? And yeah, he can't do it. So that is game. Definitely, like, I feel like we played pretty well. I think that there are some things we could have done better, and I do feel like it worked out in our favor that our opponent didn't see a lot of his searches. We didn't see, like, I don't think we saw a single, like, baby Sabo that game. I know he can't run the black Sabo, the blocker Sabo, but, not seeing the cards you need, especially in a deck like this that's so reliant on, like, the baby forms, like, like the Jorma 66 deck, this deck. It's really, it sucks. It's really rough, and it makes the game a lot harder than it needs to be, but I'm pretty happy with that game. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Once again, real quick, Dawn 10, all that information for them will be down below. They have a lot more subscribers than me currently, but go check them out if you haven't heard of them. Or checked out their videos. They've been doing it for much longer, and they are a significantly better pilot than I am. But we're working on it. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. if you liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.